movies, books, and other miscellaneous media that I've been consuming lately. And fun fact, this is actually my second time recording this video. I just rambled on for a whole entire hour, and then right when I went to edit the audio, I realized that I had been recording from my laptop's microphone instead of this lovely, lovely, wonderful Blue Yeti microphone, which has all of this delicious, is that the right word for it? I don't know. I think it's delicious mic scratching sounds. So the effect just did not hit the same when it was recorded from my laptop. So we are back at it again for round 2. And let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the thing that I have been watching / reading most recently. So it's right at the forefront of my brain. And that is Bridgerton. So I started watching Bridgerton back when it first started airing in, I think it was December 2020 or 2019. No, it was 2020. Yeah. So when it first aired on Netflix, I didn't watch the premiere, but I saw so many people talking about it, and I'm not one to like immediately jump on every bandwagon, but something about this show really interested me. I do love a good period piece. was done. So much to the point that not only was I like looking up edits, like fan edits, but I was also working on my own, which is like a whole other level for me of like loving a show or movie. I've been making fan edits here on YouTube for over a decade at this point, and that's just when you know that or when I know, I guess, that I really love a show or movie or something is when I love it enough to make an edit from it or of it. So I had started, I think, like 4 or 5 different edits of Anthony and Kate, but I couldn't bring myself to finish any of them. I just lost motivation, or, just couldn't quite get it to the finish line. But I had a great time working on them, and I was watching all of the edits I could get my hands on of the 2 of them. So I did really, really enjoy their dynamic and their relationship. And I really hope that we see more of them in season 3. So now I am so excited version of what season 3 is gonna be. Because obviously they've changed some things from the book in the show already, so the season 3 we get is not gonna be exactly like the books, which is fine. So that's why I was so grateful to find this fan fiction, because it was like, I'm telling you, it was like exactly everything I want out of season 3. It had some, like, someone courting Penelope so that Colin could get a little jealous, which is good. And there was also a lot of groveling Colin, because we know that boy needs to grovel after what he said about her. I'm still so livid about it. At the end of season 2, when he was talking to all those guys at the ball, and he said, I would never dream of courting Penelope Featherington, and she heard him say that. Oh my god. It still makes me want to yell. It makes me so mad, but it was very satisfying to read about him groveling. And I know we're gonna see it in the show. So, again, I'm very excited. I just think it's gonna be so good. And I cannot wait. I think that the last show that I got this invested in recently, I think, was Ted Lasso, which I watched last December, and I fell in love with Ted and Rebecca as a couple. And something you'll notice when I talk about TV shows is I always get invested in a couple. That's part of the fun of watching a TV show for me, is finding a couple to root for. I love a good slow burn, will they, won't they? It's just, that's just what it's all about, in my opinion. But I also love the other, like, big reason that I watch a lot of TV shows, or I guess the reason, how do I say this? The thing that draws me to a TV show is the characters. So if I love the characters in a show, I will watch that show no matter what. Like, I don't care what is going on with the plot at all. You could have them do absolutely nothing, or you could have them, like, do the most outrageous in season 3 because he bought the rival soccer team, right? So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like Rupert and Nate versus Ted and Rebecca and all of the team. So I think it's gonna be so fun and interesting to watch. And again, I'm so excited. I don't think this video is gonna make it to an hour like the last time I recorded this because I think I'm getting confused, kind of, and I can't remember what I said the first time I recorded this and what I said this time, so sorry about that. I'm a little all over the place. I feel like I have a lot more to say about Bridgerton because I just couldn't get enough. I went back and started rewatching season 1, but I haven't finished it yet, so maybe I'll hold off on talking about Bridgerton again until I have finished season 1 and season 2 rewatching. We'll see. So the other really main show that I've been watching lately is Smallville. Smallville. I just love any show really that is from the early 2000s. Obviously, Smallville went on for like 10 years, so it did make it to the 2010s, but I'm only on season 2 right now. Getting right to the end of season 2. And I just love this era of television. It just, I don't know, there's like a nostalgic factor about shows from back then. Like, I don't know, it just feels comforting, and magical, sort of. And Smallville definitely feels that way. And surprisingly, I mean, I haven't finished season 2, but at the moment, I want to say that I have enjoyed season 1 way more than season 2, which I'm honestly surprised about. Because before I started watching it, I had looked up, like, how the fans ranked the seasons, and I'm pretty sure season 2 was, like, the top of the list. Like, everybody said that season 2 was the best season, and so far, I just don't see it. I don't know, I mean, I'm enjoying it, of course, but there was something about season 1. I don't know, I like seeing, like, a show get its feet on the ground and build its world and build its characters, and it was really enjoyable to watch Smallville do that. I think they did a great job of getting you to fall in love with every single character. And I think Clark is my favorite character, which should not be surprising, but normally I'm always like listening also to Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum's podcast called Talkville, where they rewatch Smallville and talk about each episode. And Tom Welling talks a lot about how Smallville was like his first big major role, and how he was still learning so much. And I think that new energy he had really worked for Clark, because I don't know, he's just like a puppy, you know. He's just so sweet. And but then also now in season 2 he's starting to get more of an edge. Like, he's starting to learn more about his past. He's losing some of that innocence that he had, and he's getting sort of a dark side maybe, which is really interesting to see. But I just loved him in season 1. I loved seeing him navigate all the, as they would call it on the podcast, the freaks of the week, because that was kind of the format for the show. In the first season was every episode they had a different person who had been affected by the meteor shower or the kryptonite. And it was amazing. Like, every episode there was like a new actor that I would recognize. That's like a big deal now. Like, the first one that comes to mind is Amy Adams. She was on like episode 7. She did such a good job. And another one I really loved was Lizzie Kaplan. Her episodes were fantastic. She played like what do they call it? A shapeshifter. Like, she could morph into other people's bodies. It was crazy. Always made for a fun episode. And my other favorite guest star on Smallville was Adam Brody. He showed up right towards the end of season 1, and I loved his episode. That episode was my favorite of that season for sure. I loved that whole like arc of episodes actually at the end of season 1, mostly because, I'm gonna be honest, I love Clark and Chloe together, and I know I shouldn't, because I know they like never get together. And I also I didn't want to like them, because I know that the actress who played Chloe did some like horrible things in real life, so I really didn't want to be a fan of her. But I can't help it. I just like her character, and I like Chloe and Clark together. I find their scenes the most enjoyable. And like I said earlier, I love a friends to lovers trope. I just can't help it. So I loved that whole arc of episodes at the end of season 1, starting with when just some of their, I don't know, their setbacks are kind of annoying to me. Like in one of the most recent episodes I watched, Clark had like asked Lana out on a date, and then he had to cancel because some like kryptonite meteor, whatever thing came up, and I wouldn't be annoyed about it, but it was like the second time that exact same thing happened, and it was just annoying. So I don't know, I find it hard to root for them. That's not like the only reason, but that's what I can think of right now. There was my other favorite episode was in season 2. I think it was the 7th episode. And it was crazy. It was so good. It was, like a flashback episode where it was a flashback to the meteor. Well, the whole episode wasn't a flashback, but there was this big section. It was all about, like, Clark's adoption and, like, how Lionel Luther got involved in it. And it was just so interesting to see how those seeds between the Kents and the Luthers were planted. And it started with this woman showing up and claiming that she was Clark's biological mother, which is impossible because, hello, Clark is an alien. He's literally from another planet, lady. He is not your son. But then it came out that she had actually had a son with Lionel Luther that was out there, and it wasn't Clark. And he actually ended up being played by Paul Wesley from The Vampire Diaries, which is another one of my favorite shows. But there was this flashback scene in that episode where, like, Jonathan had saved Lex and brought him and Lionel back to his truck where Martha was with Clark, and there was this shot of the 5 of them in Jonathan's truck, and I just thought it was the cutest thing. It was so sweet to see little baby Lex and little baby Clark. I think they had like a little, like, I think Clark, what did he do? He didn't wink at him. I think he did something with his hair or something. I don't remember, but I just know it was cute. that's that long. This is 10 seasons, and they're the full, like, 20 to 24 episodes a season. So there's like 200 plus episodes. And like, if I really tried, I could probably watch it all in like a month, but I just don't want to do that. I would not have fun. Everything would like blur together. And I just like to like savor it, you know? I like to take like little breaks in between each season so I can digest everything that happened and, you know, speculate and look forward to what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm only on season 2 again, so I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot more to say about Smallville the further I get into it. And I'd like to do more sorts of videos like this in the future. So I'm sure I'll be telling you about it at some point. So, two things I had talked about when I was talking about Smallville are actually a really nice segue into the next thing I want to talk about. Those two things are Adam Brody and podcasts, which leads me to the OC Bitches podcast, or I guess it's called Welcome to the OC Bitches podcast, I think, which is hosted by Rachel Bilson and Melinda Clark, who played Summer and Julie on the OC, which is one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time. I think it's number 2, actually. I haven't, like, reevaluated my top shows in a while, but if I had to say right now, I would put it at number 2, probably. But all that to say that I just listened to Mischa Barton's episode of the podcast this week, which was so exciting because Mischa played Marissa Cooper, and Marissa is my favorite television character of all time. Ever since I first watched the show when I was like 13, I just really resonated with her character. I mean, obviously, she's been through a lot, and I have not been through even half the things that she went through on that show. It was absolute insanity. But I just love her character. I don't even know if I can get into it right now, but I just find her really was like to film the show. And like hearing some of her motivations or like decision of like why she played certain moments certain ways, it was just really, really interesting. And I was so glad that she got the opportunity to talk about the show and her character without it being like, you know, turning into something like messy and something like that journalists would want to clickbait. And, you know, it was just like a nice conversation. And I'm glad that not only that she did it, but that we got to listen to it all these years later. Now I'm looking at the time that I've been recording, and I think I might reach an hour, so that's nice. I talked a lot more about Smallville this time than I did the first time I recorded, but anyways. The other main show I've been watching lately is Sister Sister. So, yet another show from, well, sort of from the early 2000s. I think the first episode aired in like 1994, so it's more of a 90s show, but there was still some overlap with the early aughts. So I've really been enjoying watching it. If you watched my last puzzle haul video, you'll know that I've been watching Lisa's mom, I think it was. And that was freaking hilarious. And I always love a fake dating trope. That's just my absolute favorite. Besides friends to lovers, you know. If you combine fake dating and friends to lovers, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And there was also an episode I watched recently where it was Valentine's Day, and Tia had been taking this like psychology class, so she was like reading into everybody's behavior, and she got in the middle of Ray and Lisa getting each other Valentine's Day gifts, and she like made them think that they loved each other, and it was so funny to see them like just absolutely horrified at the thought of being together. Like they ended up at like a restaurant together for dinner on Valentine's Day, and it was hysterical because they set it up like the scene was written as if it was gonna be a big love confession, but it was the complete opposite. Like they were saying like, I have so little in common with you, I hate spending time with you, and like the other person would just be like, oh my god, I'm so glad you said that, I've been feeling the same way, and like they ended up just like really enjoying their dinner. And I don't know, it's just, I find it so cute. I just love the two of them. It's so fun to watch them together. And I can't wait to see how that turns to an actual relationship. I think that happens in season 5. So I've got a little ways to go, but I'm excited. I'm also really excited for Tyreek and Jordan to show up, because I remember when I was a kid, it was mostly their episodes, like the later seasons, that they would show on TV, so those are the ones that I remember the most, and I'm the most excited to revisit. Also, rewatching it, I find Roger so much funnier than I did when I was a kid. Like, I remember I used to be so annoyed with him, like especially in the earlier seasons, but now I just think he's so funny. He has some truly hysterical moments. Like, I think of all the characters, he's the one that makes me laugh the most. Like, because it's always something like completely random and out of pocket that it just catches me off guard and makes me laugh, and it's always Roger, you know. I also love his singing voice, and I'm pretty sure the actor who plays him has released a couple of albums, so I'm gonna have to check those out, because it's just a beautiful voice that he has. So the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is a movie that I watched last weekend. I watched The Menu. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. I think my favorite I'm so mad that didn't happen because I think that is the Harry Potter reunion we all need. Harry and Voldemort in the menu together. That would have been incredible. But I still really enjoyed it. Again, 4 out of 5 stars. Which I don't give that rating that often. Most of my movie ratings are either 3.5 or 5. Honestly. I won't get into my whole rating system right now. I almost just did, but I think we'll save that for another video. I also wanted to mention that I am seeing the movie Megan this weekend. And I can't wait. It's getting amazing reviews. It's critically acclaimed, which I am shocked about. Because I knew the second I saw the first trailer that I would want to see it, but when I saw that it was coming out in January, which, is notoriously the worst month for movies, I thought it was going to be god-awful, horrible. So I'm very pleasantly surprised that it is critically and, what's the other word? I want to say, audience-ly, but that is not a word. That critics and regular audiences are both enjoying it. I've heard that it's very campy and funny, which I just think I'm gonna have a great time. I'm so excited. So, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I had a great time, even though it took me 2 hours to film because I had to start all over. I can't remember if I said this in this video. I don't think I did, but I like this style of ASMR videos for putting them on in the background while I'm working during the day, and kind of only listening to little bits and pieces of what the person is saying. So I'm wondering if anyone else watching this also uses these kinds of videos in the same way. Because if by any chance you've watched this far and you've listened to every word I've said, oh, bless you, and I appreciate you so much. Because honestly, I'm